Let's go! Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. He's the coach, Philip Roybal. If you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the coach. Coach, how was your Christmas? Welcome back.
Hey, it's good to be back. Hey, it was, it was a good Christmas. It was a nice, quiet Christmas with the immediate family. We just, did our gift exchange early on Christmas Eve, 5:00 in the morning. My grandson was up and at 'em and was ready to get his presents opened up. But we just hung out here, had our great Christmas dinner, our traditional Christmas dinner of enchiladas. Woo!
That's what I'm talking about.
I love that, my brother.
So that's your tradition is not no turkey, no ham, or you go the enchiladas, huh?
Enchiladas, brother. Red enchiladas. Northern New Mexican style.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. I love me some red chili. Matter of fact, I haven't had any red chili, any asado, any enchiladas, anything like that this freaking year. I don't know what's going on. It's time to bust out the disco and get to work.
Well, I need to, we made a huge batch of enchiladas, and we kind of changed up our process this time. We made them in a big old pan, and we just made them flat. And even kind of created it. It was even kind of almost like a casserole, but it was just easier to lay them out. We usually roll them up and do all that. We changed it up a little bit, but
a little flat on there. Hey, man, that is Northern New Mexico style right there. Did you put the egg on top after you got them ready?
Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely.
Hey, see, guys, we're talking about some Southern New Mexico style, maybe Northern New Mexico style Mexican food. Not like what goes on there in Norman. I know people like to talk about Mexican food up here in Norman, but it's not the same. Not the same. What's up, everybody? Welcome everybody into the show. Neelio, our man, Mars Jams, Kim, Lucas James. What's up, Lucas? Stephen G. And, of course, the Sooner Legends podcast, which is, of course, Mike Wilkerson. My man, he's been putting out a couple of different videos. Coach, if you didn't already get over there and check him out, you got to do it. He's giving a little history lesson on Oklahoma football.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I need to check that out.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, we're going to help him out with some of that stuff and as far as his branding and all that's concerned, but he's just kind of getting started now. We're excited for his.
I love it.
For his channel, man. I'm pumped for it. The first couple, there was some stuff I did not know about Bud Wilkinson, and so that was really cool, man. First couple of them, he's doing that one, and the next one up will be, what was Wilkinson? So, you let us know on here. I'll make sure to post it there for you, Mike. I'll make sure to post it there for you. Mars Jams, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
Glad you're here. Sooner Legends is a great name. Love it. So. Yeah, excited about this week. So we are now 2 days away from the Alamo Bowl. We get to see our first real glimpse of Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold starting at quarterback for the Sooners up against a really, really good football team in Arizona that went from 5 wins a year ago to 9-3 this season, winning their last 6 games, 4 of which came against ranked opponents. I think that they were one of the better teams. I think it's one of those deals where you saw them really kind of come through. Love that team. Love the what they do. They've got a quarterback themselves that, I don't want to go into too much of this game because, folks, right after we're done with this live stream, we're going to be I'm going to put up my preview story preview show that we did with Jay Smith from Unfair Sports. So we'll definitely jump up there and do that as well. Neilio, our man, here's to a great show. Hope you all are having a very nice holiday season. Neil, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and
absolutely,
and have a Happy New Year as well. Thank you so much for always being part of the show. We appreciate you. Hey, Jason, would you agree that the biggest question for OU into the Alamo Bowl is going to be the offensive line and how they hold up against Arizona? I do. Although you are going to have some guys, I think that the idea that everybody thought that you're not going to have any of the other guys that are in there that are either in the portal or leaving for the draft is not necessarily real. So you are going to have routes there. We talk about this a little bit on that preview. So you are going to have routes. You're going to have Mature. And then you've got, what's the other guy that is going to be the center along with Joshua Bates, I think, a little bit. So it's not going to be completely brand new. Obviously, Jacob Sexton will be taking over at the right tackle. He more or less was doing that for the last 3 or 4 games anyway. So I'm not too worried about that, right? Yeah, everything's okay with Jay and Coop. Yeah. Jay was I believe he was in Tulsa. They just got back. They're good to go. Did they miss their live or something last night? I saw something about that in there. Yeah. So, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Let's see what else we got in here. Yeah, I think everything's going to be okay as far as that goes. Now, here's the thing. I think that it would be a concern with having completely new line. And I think you probably will see some of that. But, yeah, Troy Everett. There you go, Stephen G., my man. Yep, I was just thinking that is his name. But, yes, I think that, 15 practices, you may end up seeing more of that than you thought you would. But that would be the question coming in. It's a young offensive line. We know that Caden Green obviously is at Missouri. So it kind of is what it is. But I do think that overall, I like the matchup, man. I like the matchup. And I don't know whether I think I'm going to pick Oklahoma to win, but I don't know for sure that they do. They've got a hell of a quarterback and a freshman too, so it's a matchup of freshmen. But we're talking about Arizona has a freshman that started 8 games, played in 11. Had a really good. He's completing about 74% of his passes. This is a good player. Now, have they seen a defense like what you should see out of Oklahoma? Probably not, because they didn't play Oregon. They played UCLA and Utah, and they did pretty well against them as far as that went. But I don't know. I think that with the way they hadn't been hurried as much as an offense, like what you've seen, Oklahoma didn't have a ton of sacks during the season. They did have a lot of hurries, right? So I think that if you can get some pressure on this guy, I think it's the same game plan they're going to have, is to get some pressure on our guy. Then, it's how the Alamo Bowl is, guys. It generally is a lot of points being scored. Yeah. And, could be a lot of fun, man. I don't believe that you're going to end up getting so what you get in a lot of these bowl games, which is a lot of opt-outs, things like that, because of the fact that it's become just an exhibition season. I really think that that's kind of where it's gone. Chris, go. Who doesn't? Who are we talking about? Who doesn't have respect for OU? T-Boomer, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Appreciate it, man. Now, I am excited, though, about another one. Now, Coach, you're going to be in El Paso for the Sun Bowl as your Fighting Irish take on Oregon State, which is a little light. We were just talking about, these opt-outs and stuff.
Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit off air that I think that But we got to get to a point where you understand that this is a different world that we live in today for college football.
That's right.
And you want to look at it in terms of getting some guys some opportunities. Like I was just talking about with OU, you know, Jackson Arnold, him having 15 practices where he is the guy under center, or not even, we don't really do under center at Oklahoma, but you know what I mean. Signal caller.
Figure of speech.
Huge. Yeah, it's a huge deal, though, right? You've got an opportunity with the same deal. Now, and I was going to ask you, do you get to have? Is he going to play one more game for you guys? The quarterback,
Hartman.
No,
Hartman's a gone pecan.
Okay.
He originally said he was going to play, and then he opted out.
Right.
Which again, you know, and we, Jason and I, you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier, but you know, the world of college football has absolutely changed a lot, and not only has the entire college football framework changed with NIL and the transfer portal, but the bowl games have completely taken on a new picture, and you know, kids are opting out, and you know, hell, guys, this is even traveling into the coaching, because there's coaches that aren't even coaching in the damn bowl games. You know, incredible, and Jason, just like you talked about, until the schools put these guys under contract, then that's going to continue to happen and occur. And, you know, guys, we can talk. I mean, I'm old fashioned. You know, loyalty is huge to me.
Started that kind of stuff. I get it.
Yeah. But guys, with the way things have changed, you can talk about loyalty all you want to, but loyalty runs two ways. And you know, the college has got to be loyal to the players as well, and that's not exactly happening. And so you can't just put it all on the kids and say, well, I'm pissed off at this kid because he ain't, you know, he's not going to finish what he started. Well, hang on, hold your horses, man. You know, so it's just kind of a crazy world right now, and the bowl game. And I got to tell you, I've even, you know, I've sat around the house because I'm off over the holiday break here for a couple of weeks, and I've had a hard time even getting into the bowl games like I used to. I used to watch every bowl game from start to finish.
Right.
And I'm having a hard time watching them.
Getting into some of them.
To finish.
Yeah. Some of them have been okay. You know, I mean, there's some of the ones, and you want to say that it's what your quote unquote lesser bowls, or used to be in the past lesser bowls, have probably been the better ones so far.
Yeah.
I think your New Year's Six bowls, well, it is even creeping into that though too. The Orange Bowl is going to be a collection of new kids that are getting it done, and that was, you know, something that we were talking about off air, is that Rodemaker, it decided to go into the portal, which, look, I understand that Florida State fans or whoever would like to see Florida State go in and beat Georgia, and then they can mess up the whole, you know, title picture or whatever. Let me just say, you got to win 2 games to win the damn thing. Now, first off, I don't see them beating Georgia if freaking Travis was in there. I don't think so. Now, that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean anything. That being said, they're already basically, it's pretty clear that you're going to either have DJ Uiagalelei as a transfer quarterback playing at Florida State next year, or you're going to have the kid from Washington State. One of those two guys is transferring in. They hadn't, I mean, I haven't heard anything concrete just yet, but one of them is either Cam Ward or DJU. Look, if you're a Rodemaker, why the hell do you owe that to Florida State to go play in the Orange Bowl and not go into the portal, and you go in late, and so you don't get a starting position next year? They've already skipped over you and made it really clear that you're not going to be the starter, because neither one of those guys are coming to Florida State to not start. Right? This is what we,
you're right.
This is where we start when we can say whatever we want. And I'm not talking about the whole thing with what, you know, I'm not talking about the freaking playoff here. You can get me and Coach bitching at each other. Not doing all that. What I'm saying is that the way things are, you have to know that you cannot blame that kid for going anywhere, because it's his opportunity to find a place to get to play. He's been waiting his turn behind Jordan Travis, and they made it clear that they're not going to let him be the starter. What do you think?
Well, and you know, there's no doubt he's not going to be the starter. And you know, I'm even going to back up a little bit from here. And I know you and I disagreed adamantly about, you know, whether they get in the playoff or they don't get in the playoff,
Right.
et cetera, which it's, you know, it's behind us now. But at the end of the day, you know, I was a little disappointed in that so many people from Florida State opted out, because they had an opportunity, although it was minimal, but they had an opportunity to go ahead and at least make a statement of some kind had they given Georgia a good football game.
Right.
You know, they could have made a little statement for themselves. But I'm going to tell you what, I see what's going to happen to them at this point. It's going to be an ass kicking deluxe. And the thing is, you know, and like you said, with Rodemaker, that's why stay there? You know, again, talking about loyalty. I mean, why are you going to stay there? Because they've already told you we're bringing in 2 other guys. And so the best you can do on this team coming this next coming season is be number 3. Not only did you go from
I don't think both of them are coming. I don't think both of them are coming. I think one of them's coming. But either way, the best you're going to do is backup.
Right.
So it's
backup. You're going to be right back where you were. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, he's, you know.
And I think he's got a year left. That's the other thing. I think he has a year left.
Yeah, he's got to do what's best for him.
He does. He does. I don't know why you would do anything else. And to me, again, I think that Florida State signaled that they didn't give a shit about the Orange Bowl anyway, when there was a lot of talk about them boycotting because they were had their panties in a bunch about not getting in.
Right.
I don't necessarily blame them for having their panties in a bunch about not getting in, but I'm saying when you showed that you didn't care about the Orange Bowl, and there was a lot of talk about showing up and then not playing, which would have been a terrible thing to do. But now, where I would normally say, you know, look, I do feel bad for Florida State. No matter what I've said, and I have said that I don't think that they were one of the 4 best teams. I don't.
Sure.
But I also think that it sucks to go through and do what you're supposed to do. The truth of it is that the playoff has never been set up to be fair. There's 5 Power 5, or as of right now, there's 5 Power 5 conferences for 4 spots.
Right.
I mean, they're lucky there wasn't more of these kind of controversies throughout.
Before. Yeah.
You know, since they started all this. Right. And then, the TCU replay, I could see what you're saying there. And I think that also had something to do with it. When TCU went and got just skull dragged out in LA in the national title game last year, the committee, the networks, they were like, we ain't having this shit again. Yeah. You know, we don't want to have this again. And so the idea that this 12-team playoff is going to be more fair and all that, no. All it does is move it down to 13 and 14 and 15 of those guys. That's all it does. Yeah. Because you're going to have people bitching about it there too. And the truth of it is, I don't think that you've really added to the amount of teams that can win the thing. Because at least one of, and I don't know what's going to happen with the ACC. I guess we could get into talking a little bit about that if y'all want to. But the truth be told, how long are these ACC and even Big 12 programs going to stay competitive when they're making $50 million a year less than teams in the SEC and the Big 10 and Notre Dame? It's not going to happen. You can this is why Florida State is suing to get out. This is why you're probably going to see some other ACC schools follow suit pretty soon. Because it's just, they don't want it to be competitive though, folks. They just don't. They what they want to do is see FBS outside of the Power Five kind of break off into their own little thing, which I think wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings. And then your big boys continue. You get no more than 50 or 60 teams that have a real shot, which is, again, not a real shot. There's probably 10 or 12. It's, realistically, there's 10 or 12.
Correct.
Sooner Cowboys, if you come in and say Texas is going to play for a national championship one more time, you're getting booted out of here. I don't want to hear that shit on this show from a freaking so-called Sooner fan. Get out with that crap. Knock it off. And they're going to get their ass kicked by Washington, by the way. Good
you know what? And you say that, but I'm going to tell you, Jason, I'd actually like to see them play Alabama again in the national championship game, because I think Alabama will stroke their ass if they play them again.
I think, but Washington beat them last year in this game, and it's a lot of the same guys. I mean,
and I feel, honestly, I feel like Washington wins.
Yeah,
I do.
I want
or wins that game.
Oh, absolutely, Des. I'm going to just be real. Of course I do. Of course I want them to get their ass kicked. I'm an Oklahoma fan. There ain't no lying about it. Look, right here behind me ought to tell you everything. And if not, here you go.
It is what it is, right?
And if not, here you go. Bijan or Roshan did play in that game. No, they didn't. Or did they? They didn't. Well, yeah. Hey, you're missing the best running back that you got. Although I will say this, Texas has a stable of those dudes. They're all very good. Look, I think it's going to be a great game. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I don't want them. Yeah, they didn't play in that game. Okay, so it pretty much is the same team then. What else you got? But my thing is this. Check down Quinn better not be hitting check downs all day long. And that secondary better be a lot better than it's been all year, because I don't see it. My reasoning for it is I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think that you have a very good offensive line over at Washington. I think they're going to have to be able to run the ball against Texas. And I don't know how well they'll do that. They did run the ball a lot better the second half of the year, but there was times that they didn't run it well at all. So I think that where you would see Texas have the advantage is definitely in that front seven on the defensive line. But we also thought that in the Red River game, and the offensive line for Texas didn't dominate like you would have thought. And the defensive line didn't either. So It is what it is. We're going to find out. Yeah, I saw that. Dylan Brooks was hurt too. Okay, Des, and I know you're a Texas guy, so what does this mean? Yeah, no, I think that you're probably going to have – that's what I was getting at. I think you're going to have to see them run the ball, and you're probably going to have to see Michael Penix get out and run the ball a little bit. I don't know if
that's going to happen.
I think that you kind of have to, right? I think that when you're in this situation, and here's what I'll tell you. When it comes to Kalen DeBoer, there's not a lot of guys out there in the country that are better at drawing up an offense for a game plan that can beat your ass. And it doesn't matter where he's been, he's done that. So having this amount of time, look, I like their chances there. They've got one of the better passers in a long time in the game. You don't have a great secondary. If they could run even a little bit, that may be all they need to do. Yeah, I'm sure you want them to run. I bet you do. So tell me how that's going to happen. Sark ain't no slouch given time either. Well, but okay. But
he just can't do it. He just can't adjust during the game.
Oh, yeah. He struggles with that part. He struggled with that.
You give him
He hadn't
a
had
few
to adjust.
weeks.
I'll say this: they were actually better in the second half of games this year. I'm not on that was as much on Sark. Sark's done
But
a
it
lot
wasn't
better.
because of adjustments. But it wasn't because of adjustments. It was because
They played a lot
most of
better
the
in the
time they
second
were
half against
leading.
Alabama. I think they were better against Oklahoma too. But they also
Right.
there was a couple of games that they tried to gag up in the second half. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
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 No, they're not. No, they're not. What do you mean?
Oh my God.
Come on, bro. Come on. Chris McClellan.
Well,
What
I
are you
tell you
talking
what,
about, Chris McClellan? Are you going to start with this stuff, bro?
I think Hank hit the nail on the head. I think it's going to be a heck of. I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game.
I like the matchup. And I think even if you win here, good for you, Texas. You're not. I don't see you beating Alabama a second time, giving Nick that much time, and you beat him the last time you played him in his house. He's going to be, it's a lot different football team than you saw before.
Yeah.
And that's assuming that they beat Michigan. That's assuming.
I tell you what, there's just too much shit swirling around Michigan to. I have a hard time seeing a lot of focus on this ball game when so much shit swirling around there.
Yeah, I didn't like their reaction to getting the game. I didn't like their reaction to that. I mean, you could have heard a mouse fart in that room.
Yeah.
They didn't want to talk.
No.
They were scared shitless.
No.
I think that was clear. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care too much about like I said, with the whole, I think that the way that they were doing the cheating, I think it's unfortunate that they weren't smarter about it, Coach. I think it's, that they weren't really trying to hide the shit. It didn't seem like, but I don't really care.
It is what it is. Deal with it and move on. I mean, and guys, we've talked about it before. They're not the only ones doing that kind of crap. Just don't be so stupid about how you do it.
Yeah. Look, and again, like I said, Ohio State, it was throwing the big bitch fit about it, but they had multiple teams that were all sharing information and stuff from their games, and basically have their signs too. So it's not like it was just one-sided when it comes to that. Hey, Brinsky Sharp, what's up, my dude? What's up? Okay, yeah. Look, man, as far as what we're giving Sark shit because this is an Oklahoma show and this is just how it is. Neither one of us really care. In the end, I'll say this, and this is going to be tough to get out. Texas had a hell of a season. They had a hell of a season. They finally won a freaking conference championship. Finally. They went on the road and beat Alabama in week 2. Good for them. I don't think they're going to win the thing. And yes, I hope they don't. I don't have to. I mean, it doesn't bother me to say that. I hope they don't. But in the end, I do think it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And that's the beauty of it, is that this playoff, I think you got 2 really good matchups in the semifinal. I think you do.
Yeah.
I think that if there's anybody that can match up with, like even if it was Texas, it would be Michigan, and matched up against Alabama. And then if they had to play Texas as well in the trenches and trying to be that physical football team, Michigan can do that. Now, can they, because they were set up to beat Ohio State that way. You know what I mean? But they hadn't been able to do it against SEC opponents so far. And even TCU somehow got in there and got them last year. But that being said, I think Alabama probably wins. And I like Washington. I like Washington to win.
I like Washington too.
Yeah. Huge disappointment.
Jason, I got to tell you, I got to tell you something real quick before we go on, Jason. But my son is a huge Texas fan, and I actually created that back when I had kids that were playing there, and now I got to listen to that shit here at home. So
Well, it's his birthday, so I'm not going to say too much, but happy birthday, Eric, if you're watching. Welcome. Love that kid and all, but he should have picked a better program. But
Yeah.
good for Eric. Happy birthday. And look, man, I'm glad he's getting to see his team in the playoff, but we'll see what happens.
I'm not.
Yeah. Now, Texas 4.5. That's a bit much. All right. I wanted to address this. Duke Silversmith is good, huge for the trajectory of the program. Venables needs his first bowl win. Need and want, I don't know about need so much. But because I also think that you're in a situation where you've got a brand new quarterback versus a quarterback that's been playing all year. I mean, I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think if you win, it's good for your trajectory heading into the SEC. It gives a good signal as to what you look like. Let's just be real, guys. This is a freaking exhibition. If you're not in the playoff, it's exhibition stuff. Now, I think that you're going to get a better game out of Arizona than a lot of these bowl games are turning into because you only have, 1 or 2 opt-outs, I think it is. Not much.
Yeah.
And they are looking at it as trajectory for their program. They went from 1 win in Fish's first year there to 5 wins last year, and now they have a 9-win season. So you're going to get the best of what they're going to give you. I think it's a program-defining win for Arizona. Now, Oklahoma, on the other hand, it'd be great to be to 11 wins. I think somebody said that in there. I would love to see that, right? I don't know that. Look, we've lost too many bowl games over the years. All-time bowl records matter. Look, the all-time bowl record, I think they still own it. Do they not? I don't even know what we're talking about. And the bowls are not the same as what they used to be before, guys. That was the point. The whole point of the first things we were talking about was that it's not the same shit. When the bowls very first started, they meant 0. Nobody gave a shit about them. Nobody. And now we're kind of back to that. We're kind of back to that because at this point, and it's the way that the NCAA's done it. Look, if you didn't open the portal right away, right now, then you probably wouldn't have so many opt-outs. For folks that are going to the NFL, they're opting out anyway. But if the portal was there and without collective bargaining and profit share or revenue share, these kids do not owe it to you to be there. Thankfully, Oklahoma does. They have most of their guys. I'd like to see that they win, but I mean, if they don't,
let's go back and talk about this for a second because again, going back to the question. I saw it.
I told him. I warned him the other day too.
So let's go back and talk about the question was they need to win this one. Guys, the way the bowls are now, it's not so much you need to win. The biggest thing that teams are getting out of bowl games today is they're getting to see what their future holds, maybe what they're going to need to go to in the portal and pick up, because you're getting to see a lot of your younger players that are going to be playing in that bowl game. And it's kind of giving you a preview of what you need to look at. So the win, hell, it's always great to win, but the bowl games have changed so much that it's not about the win, although we all want to win every ball game, but it's what coaches can get from this and take away from it to make their team better when they hit the fall next year.
I love it that you're so pumped up about this and like it matters that much. What do they win if they win it? What do they win if they win it? A bowl trophy? Will it have any effect whatsoever on next season? No. You could say
momentum. The effect is what you take away from it.
You can say whatever you want to.
How long does friggin' momentum last, guys?
Yeah, is it going to last 9 freaking months? Because,
Oh.
look, you say whatever you want to, and look, I don't want them to win I don't want them to lose to freaking Arizona any more than you do.
No.
But the truth is, this is not, you got a guy that's taken his first snaps aside from one half of football, and he's going up against a really good football team.
Again, another great ball game.
Shout out to Bucky.
It's going to be a great game. I truly believe that as well.
11 games, that's what you win. What's the difference in 10 and 11? One game. I get it. The momentum, the turnaround momentum for the program. So you're telling me that if they don't win this game, they don't have any turnaround momentum when they went from 6 wins to 10 wins. They suck now if they don't win this game. Is that what we're at? Come on, bro. Come on.
Oh.
That's silly talk. That is silly talk. I'm not with you on that one, man. And I'm not going to keep this up. I'm not going to keep it up arguing with you. Look, I want them to win as much as anybody does. The chances are they're going up against a really good team. They're not favored to win the game by Vegas. Okay. They're not favored to win. So yeah, is it disappointing? Yeah, it's always disappointing. If you're a Sooner fan, you don't like it for them to lose, right? Hit the like button. Yes. If you guys are going to argue with me, you better be hitting the freaking like button. Shit.
Give a thumbs up or give a thumbs down. It don't matter. Give one of the two. It helps us out, guys.
But how many times have we just talked about the homegrown? You could finish in the top 10. That'd be cool. Again, what does it do for you next year? Maybe everybody's talking about how little these bowls matter. And I think this is one of the ones they're saying that less about, because this is 2 teams that are in transition, one to the SEC, one into the Big 12. On top of that, they both came off of tough years a year ago. They both had big improvements, 4-game improvements on their records. It's a big game. I think it's big. I just don't think I don't think that it matters once in the end of it. If they win or lose this game, it's not going to change one thing about 2024, their first year in the SEC. I didn't make my prediction for next year based on whether they win or lose the Alamo Bowl. I didn't. I still think that their ceiling is 10-2, and I think that they could be 8-4. And in the first year in the SEC, that's a hell of a good season. I don't think the Alamo Bowl has a damn thing to do with it, other than it gets Jackson some playing time, win or lose.
That's the bottom line to the bowl games now, whether you like it or not. And I'm an old traditionalist, and I don't like the way it is now, but it is what it is. And guys, all it is you're getting lots of extra practices towards next season. Bottom line.
Yeah.
And see how they compete in a real ball game.
Look, man, I agree with you. To some extent, I agree.
Now, if you get your ass kicked, if you get your ass kicked by
drug or something,
that's a whole different story. But I mean, if you're in there in a good ball game, it's all good.
Look, I'm not even making excuses for them. I want them to go win. Go win the damn game. I'm picking them to win the game. Okay, I want them to go win the game, and I agree that yes, you want to end your season with a W. But let me ask you this, Des. Did losing to Washington last year make you think that you can't beat them this year? Or does that make this year any less important what Texas did headed into the SEC next year to go and finally win a conference championship game? Were you guys thinking one bit about the freaking Alamo Bowl loss to Washington last year? No. It didn't matter. It damn sure weren't once you went in and beat Alabama in week 2. It's silly. All right, guys, I'm done with this. I'm done with this argument. I'm not even arguing with you. I want them to win the game just as much as you do. Okay.
And I don't.
Sooner Cowboys, you've only been in here for another couple of seconds. You better hush. You better knock that shit off. Looks at TCU again. Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to say that. It's easy to say that, Silver Sooner, but you know, there's a reason that Vegas hasn't picked. Texas will play up for Washington. They beat Texas last year. So what does that got to do with anything? Look, you know what it is? It's the only thing that it really is so that the crazies of the fan base and the freaking, not that there's a real crazy media in Oklahoma City or anything like that, but and so the media doesn't talk shit about you. That's it. That's all it does for you. I mean, I'm going to tell you that, Silver Sooner, if you really believe that this game matters as to what's going on next year as they start the SEC, then you're thinking about other things. They're going to have better players on this team when they get into the SEC next year. They've got guys coming in both in the portal. They've got guys coming in the recruiting, the best probably recruiting class in OU history, which I would say, just like I was saying on my videos the other day, you got a couple of underrated guys that, had it not been for circumstances, would definitely have been 5-star guys. I think Nigel Smith is a 5-star. I'm going to tell you that freaking, hey, look at the freaking tight end room and some of these. Look, Devon Mitchell was the top 5 freaking guy for the 25 class. Now, when he reclassified to 24, it dropped him to 99. Look at that kid and tell me he's not a first-round pick, which is what 5-stars are. They're expecting him to come in and immediately start. You know, he's still a 5-star guy. Now, I'm not saying you had to kick anybody out of the 2024, but that's where I'm telling you that sometimes the stars don't really matter. They don't always have it all the way right. There's guys that they miss on. Like Nigel, they're missing. To not have him at least in the top 50, look at his explosion and what the kind of player that he is. Hawkins, that dude can throw it. He completed around 70% of his passes this year. Took his team to a state semifinal and lost to South Oak Cliff, who was back-to-back defending champions. His dad played in the NFL for freaking over a decade, and he's fast as hell. 55 touchdowns. I think he had 5 interceptions, 5 turnovers on the season. He's not a 5-star? Okay. And the only reason I'm saying anything about this, I'm fine with the number 8 class. It's still a top 10 class overall. You got people that aren't, but I don't give a shit what they're. I'm going to tell you right now, when you see guys like Devon Mitchell, don't care. When you watch Xavier Robinson play and he's throwing dudes to the ground and he's got speed and running at 6'2", 240? that he's a 3-star. I don't give a shit about what he's ranked. Can't wait to see him play. Can't wait to see him play. He's going to be unbelievable. Washington didn't play Tech. It was Oregon that played Tech. Sooner Cowboys, if you're going to sit here and do this all day, get it right.
Oh.
Jaden Jackson is a beast. Buy stock now. Yes. Why is that guy a freaking top 300 player? He played right next to Stoney, and Stoney's a freaking 5-star plus top 10 guy and should be. But Jaden Jackson, pretty damn similar stats at IMG, playing on the same line with him, playing the same players that they played. Pretty similar stats. Bad dude. Crazy stuff, right?
Wipe your feet, man. Wipe your feet.
What's that?
Wipe your feet.
Yeah, wipe your feet, folks. Wipe your freaking feet. Let's see. Oh, did you just call me a clown? Oh, no.
I think he's calling me a clown.
Bye. I put up with anything. You're not calling me a clown on my own show. Are you insane? Why is he guys? Where the hell are my freaking mods? And you're letting him get away with that shit. What the hell's going on here? Dang. All right. All right. We've got 43 people in here. Only 24 of you have hit the like button.
Like it. Please. It helps us out, guys.
Eli Bowen. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, he's a 3-star also. Yeah, and his brother's was a 5-star plus guy. You know? Gotcha, guys. Yeah, I'm not having it from I think I've seen him in the chat one other time. So what I mean, in the end, though, the only point I was making, I want them to win. I want them to win. What if they don't? What if they don't? Does it change that they had a big turnaround season? No. It didn't. It doesn't. Eli's a ball hawk. Yeah, man. And here's the other thing. You add this defense in, the guys that they brought in, which Stoney and Jaden and Nigel and Danny Okoye is going to be a freaking problem. Then you got PJ Adebawari that was in last year's class, a top 5 overall player. And you got Peyton Bowen. And you got Makari Vickers and Josiah Wagner. And you got Billy Bowman coming back with Danny Stutzman as well. This defense is going to be another rung better next season. Because I don't know how much you're going to see out of the freshman guys. I suspect that I think that all 3 of the defensive line guys that we've been talking about, Nigel, Stoney, and Jaden Jackson, are going to get significant time. I think they're going to get significant time. I think that G-Baby probably steps up big this next season. You've got Jacob Lacey coming back. You've got Trace Ford coming back on the outside. You got Ethan Downs coming back. I think that the depth there is going to allow you to stay fresher. I still feel like this is a good opportunity. The defense is going to be better. It's not going to stay the way that even there was places that they got leaky at the end of the year. It's going to get better. But yeah, in 2025, I can't even imagine after a year with freaking Schmitty what those guys that are already probably going to contend for spots are going to look like. And they're in the spring program. They're early graduates. It's going to be, Reggie Powers. Yeah. Like him too. Yeah. He's a stud. Kanak is coming back, I believe. Yeah. Listen, I'll say this about Kanak. He kind of reminded me a lot of Danny Stutzman a year ago. That he'd make a lot of plays, but he made a lot of mistakes. Danny and he still led the team in tackles by a lot, but he made a lot of mistakes. The hope is that Jaron Kanak will have figured it out next year. But I also think that Kip Lewis is going to be huge. Kobe McKenzie, they were all still learning the differences in. Look, I don't think that you can really over exaggerate about how much different a Brent Venables defense is than a speed D from, Alex Grinch, and the differences in what you do and your responsibilities and how it works. I mean, let's just make it clear. That thing sucks. The speed D's terrible. And that's all those kids knew. So I think there's a lot of that kind of stuff that you're still working that out of these guys, but there's only a few of those guys left that had to deal with it. And I'm glad that Stutzman's coming back because of that leadership. No matter what, he's going to be bringing those guys along, and he's taking it on as a big deal. Lewis Carter's going to be in the room. Yes. Love it. Love it. I like Jaron. I think that he's a freaking stud athlete, guys. There's no 2 ways around it. And he makes plays. Plus the yoga instructor. Yeah, I can't forget about that. You're right, Sooner in Texas. You're right. Deshaun McCullough is one of my favorite guys on that defense. Again, this is a guy, and his little brother, Dave McCullough, he didn't get there until late and didn't really get any opportunities this past season. He's going to be a red shirt guy. Deshaun says he thinks he's better than he is. That he's the best out of all the brothers. That's a lot to say. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Des, did you hit the like button, bro? Because I did give you the opportunity to say your piece. Come on now. Yeah. My man does. Thank you, Brent. Thank you. Yep. 4.4 at 240 is painful. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody was telling me that he said that he runs like a 4.6, but man, I don't know. Watching his film, to me, he's fast. If he gets past now, not all of those games is he playing against guys like you're going to see in the college level. I'll tell you another guy though that just destroys freaking angles though is Taylor Tatum is going to get in the game some because he can split out and play. That guy from Longview, stud, bro. Stud. Coach and Jason, how well will JFA have to play in the bowl game for y'all to think OU has a very good chance of being successful? How well will he have to play in the bowl game? I don't know. I don't think that has a ton to do with it. I'm going to say this one more time. He's not playing an SEC defense in the bowl game. He's not playing Alabama, not playing Texas. He's not. So
hard to tell.
I think that he can. Here's what I think about Oklahoma. I think that, like I said, I could see 8-4 happening. 9-3, 10-2 could also happen, right? You could almost see them losing a game or two next year that they probably should. Maybe they beat Alabama, but then they turn around and lose to LSU, and LSU's not having a good year. Or you could see them losing a game like to Mizzou or somebody. No, I can't see that. But I could. They could lose a game. Now, they definitely have a harder schedule than what Texas has in the SEC next year. There's no two ways around that. As far as SEC schedules are concerned, Texas got light. Now, and that's fine. The point is that what I could also see is them winning a game that you don't expect them to win, like on the road at LSU, or, maybe Alabama's just that good. If they go and win the national championship game, all of a sudden a home game, you're still not supposed to probably win it if you're OU. But maybe they find a way to get that win. Or, a road game at Auburn, who is definitely going to be a better football team next season, right? A road game at Ole Miss, who is really good at home, and they went 10-2 this year as well. You could see them winning one of those games, but you could also see them losing a couple that maybe they wouldn't. I just think that it's the lay of the land in the SEC, and you got to learn to get your footing underneath you. And you have a brand new quarterback. And if he were to get hurt, you got two brand new quarterbacks backing him up. There's a lot of things. Yeah, but that's because we didn't get Georgia because they canceled the Georgia game, right? And then, of course, the Big 12 schedule, they're all the same. They were all the same. You guys didn't play Oklahoma State during the regular season. We didn't play K-State. I mean, they're all the same. The schedules are all, come on, man. You know good and well that those, you guys got Houston in yours. They're not that good. You got Baylor. Oklahoma would have loved to have played Baylor.
So would everybody else in the country.
You know what, Sooner Cowboys, you got to be ready for freaking trolls anyway. That's all you guys do. You're in that category, bro. You are. You know that, right? You beat the hell out of OSU in the championship game. You did. Good for you guys. Oklahoma should have done it too. I'll give you that. Yeah, there he is. That. Yeah, they were pretty bad. That last one was really bad. And how do you miss a freaking extra point? Come on. That wins the game. But I got to say, I don't even want to talk about Bedlam anymore. I don't want to talk about it. It's just going to get me wound up, and I'm not going to do it. Screw the Big 12. Okay? That's all I want to say. Sooner Cowboys, I'm gonna say this. This is crazy though, because as much as they loved on Texas for beating Alabama, okay, OU beat Texas. You're going to tell me that Penn State had a better schedule or Missouri had a better schedule? The only team they played Georgia, got beat. They didn't have to play Alabama. They lost to LSU. Mizzou shouldn't have been in there over them. Oregon didn't have a freaking top 25 win at all. That's not even a real statement.
Agreed.
Yeah, I know. Yep, I don't think he is. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. Can Coach talk about his Notre Dame for a little bit? Yes, he can. Coach, tell us about these. Hey, I know you were pumped the hell up about your offensive coordinator change, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, in several ways. You know, Mike Denbrock coming over from LSU. You know, Denbrock has actually been at Notre Dame. This will be his third time there at Notre Dame.
I was reading
And you go back, and he also coached with Marcus Freeman and Mike Brown, which is the new receivers coach at Notre Dame that came over from Wisconsin. They all coached together at Cincy and were very successful. As everybody knows, Denbrock did a great job at LSU offensively. You know, coaching the Heisman Trophy winner there, and you know the best offense arguably in the nation. And so people didn't think we could get him, and you know, and if you remember, Jason, I brought it up in our last show because I asked everybody that was in there with us that night, what do y'all think about Denbrock? And everybody went on to give other names of people they thought, because nobody in their, I think in their right mind, thought that we were going to hire Denbrock from LSU, because Denbrock, he was actually on in the wedding of his boss there at LSU, Kelly. And so they've been good buddies. And matter of fact, Kelly fired Denbrock at one point, and then again hired him at LSU. But I tell you what, to get to the bottom of it with him, I think we have got a guy that we needed. After the season, A&M went after him. There was 2 or 3 big schools that went after Denbrock. And Notre Dame, and what I'm excited about Notre Dame is they finally stepped up. I think they're starting to step up their game as we're seeing this transition of athletic directors and presidents. And I think we're starting to see a transition where, they're making him the highest paid assistant coach in the country at over $2 million. So, we're excited. I think as we bring Leonard Riley in from Duke, I think that Denbrock will be really good for that. But Denbrock is a great play caller, and I think now with having Denbrock and Al Golden as the defense coordinator, I think we're going to see that we're going to be able to play more complementary football, and we're going to be able to move the ball in the big ball games. So I'm super, super excited about that. And then to add to that, as far as the coaching staff, we just hired a new strength and conditioning coach that, again, we went out and paid a lot of money for. It's Lauren Landau, has great connections to the NFL. He's gotten guys ready, like, many good ones in the NFL. So I think we're going to be good. So as far as our coaching staff, I'm super excited about how we're going. And not just the coaching staff, but it looks like Notre Dame's finally starting to transition to make a commitment to being one of the elite teams, instead of just hope we get there, because that's where it's been. And Des, I guess if you have a crystal ball and see the future, then I'll answer that question. But I'll leave that kind of stupidity out of the equation because
I was
nobody knows.
waiting for you to get after him.
Well, nobody knows the answer to that. I mean,
Yeah.
we can say that, but I don't know the answer. You don't know that. No, none of us know the answer. But anyway, we're excited about the changes, and then we're excited about playing in the Sun Bowl. I mean, just getting to play in a bowl game. We're getting to look at a lot of young guys, and so we're excited about that. Although, I'm a little disappointed from the perspective that Oregon State obviously is going to be down a lot of guys and even a head coach in the ball game. So that's a little disappointing, but it is what it is, and we're going to go. I think we really been getting a lot of reps with the young guys, and so here we go. So and I know for the bowl game, we had several opt-outs as well. But we'll be good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing him, but they're saying that your speech in your video is a little off. I don't know. And I changed up. I changed up a little bit. You sound a little better now, but I don't know either.
Okay.
Let me see something real quick. It could be on this end. Let me check the stream settings.
Okay.
Just to take a look here. Customize. We should be good there. I think we're okay. Maybe. All right. We're gonna continue.
I've been told my mouth runs pretty fast, so
it could just be on this end though. It's I turned the Wi-Fi with it. Usually I have it off and just using the line only because I've had issues both ways, and it'll mess with my video. So I can hear most of what you're saying. I've missed a little bit of it, but they're saying that the audio is fine. So as long as they're hearing you, that's the main thing. And everybody's saying it looks good. A lot of people are saying it's fine everywhere. All of it's fine. But of course, Bruce Lee's movie, that's fun.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry,
you just keep on keeping on. You know what that
was
about. You know what that was about, Sooner Cowboys. Don't act like this surprises you. You just keep on coming in and being negative and trolling, man. I've had enough negativity for the last few weeks with Oklahoma fans.
Yeah, we don't.
And I'm certainly not having it from you, buddy. In fact, I'll just take you all the way out.
Fun. Yeah, this is the time to have fun. We don't need any negative stuff right now.
It's just freaking football, folks. It's just freaking football.
and it's just bowl games, guys.
And we're having fun with it. And look, I want to see Oklahoma win. I do. I think it'd be great to see Jackson come out and do his thing and give us a lot to be excited about before going into the SEC. In the end, he's not playing an SEC defense. And, so you almost have to take it with as much of a grain of salt if they win it as if they lose it. That's it. So it is what it is. Yep, they need to go watch your rant video. They should go watch your rant video. That was awesome. He called them, what were the words that I got there? I just want to make sure I get those right. It was like spineless, gutless yardbirds. An amoeba trash or something like that, right?
I love it.
USC. Lincoln got problems. Yeah, he does. Good for him. Good for him. Lincoln's got issues for sure, no doubt.
Lincoln's had issues for a while.
Yeah, Lincoln had a lot of runway to screw up before it started looking bad. And Norman and he jumped ship before it looked real bad.
Well, he jumped ship in Norman and now I guarantee you, he wished he could jump ship right now. I'll be honest with you. If somebody would take
spineless, gutless amoebas.
I love it.
It's good stuff, right?
Baby. Yeah. Excellent.
And okay, so now I will say this, and this is a video that I was thinking about making. Somebody in here brought up Chris McClellan, who was the transfer out of Florida. He chose Mizzou. Even though at the start when Oklahoma offered him, he was super excited about it. Obviously, Missouri have got some they've got some billionaire out there that's trying to buy up whatever he can to make them less than mid. I say they're going to stay mid because they're never better than mid. It's just Mizzou, guys. It's just Mizzou. But I guess it kind of brings a question in, is that we've been told that, now see, this will keep you around. We've been told that Oklahoma's playing the NIL game. Now, the question, I guess, it comes down to this: is the NIL game being played at the high level that they'll pay the money, or is it? And they will, but maybe Venables is still kind of digging his heels in Dabo-esque a little bit. Maybe doesn't want if you get any kind of drama, he's not having it, which could be. Or is it maybe not as good as we keep hearing it is as far as the NIL collectives are concerned? That would be my question. Now, do I think that all matters? No. Maybe McClellan doesn't end up in Oklahoma, but I have a hard time understanding why, when he's a guy from Oklahoma that got out of town and went to Florida, played pretty well. I mean, are they overbidden by that much? And if so, why? But what is overspending? What's up there, Bloody? What is overspending? They won't overspend.
Bloody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that means, though. Somebody's pouring some cash, right? Somebody is pouring some cash. And they've got that. I think they've got like a internet millionaire, billionaire guy that's been doing some of it too. Now, you wouldn't think that there's more money than what you should be able to pull around Norman, but clearly that could be it. Walter Nolan going to, he's going to Ole Miss. Wow. They won't overspend. Okay. Now, look, I don't know that he's necessarily the guy that you have to go kick a bunch of cash to necessarily. But, oh, yeah, Sam Walton went to Mizzou. That's right. I forgot about that purple.
Yeah.
Maybe so. He was asking for way too much NIL for a backup. Was he going to be a backup? There is that. I'll give you that. Okay. Just a question I had, because, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to get on this Caden Green crap, but I'm not sure which one happened. They offered him all the money that he demanded, or they gave him the first one, and then when his demand went up, they said no. I've heard it both ways. I've heard it that they said yes to both, and then I've heard that they didn't on the second one around. In that case, he wasn't going to be a backup. Yeah. Yes, probably. Sorry about that, little Coop. I thought you were saying something else, and then right as I saw what you said, I'd already done it. I thought you were talking smack. Being sarcastic, but only partially. No, there's guys out there that they definitely have some billionaire in their pocket right now that's putting it. Somebody was, Neilio, help me here. Weren't you talking about this last week? Yeah, that's true. And he's coming back. Maybe they offered him, but they weren't going to go crazy. Okay. And if he's going to get to it, look, if you're saying that he's a backup, and maybe he is, maybe you don't have to go after him, right? 50 Cent. He's not a Missouri guy. No, you're not blocked, bro. You're good. Let's see. What else? Yeah, look, and going back to the Notre Dame stuff, I would say that I think that they're going to be really good. And obviously with Denbrock, look, he just had the Heisman Trophy winner, and they've definitely put up some freaking offensive numbers under him whenever he was at Notre Dame as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And what I would tell you is that when it comes to Jaden Daniels, and I know dude was busting your chops about it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Jaden Daniels, he didn't complete 70+% of his passes last year. He was still pretty good, but I think he was at like 57, 58, something crap like that.
He was.
So now that takes him going and putting in the work, but it also going to take some tutelage, right? You know, some help.
Yeah. No, I think Denbrock does a good job coaching. So no, I think
it's got to be better than the dude you had. That's all I could say about that, because they were so bad offensively as far as having any kind of imagination whatsoever.
We were horrible. Like you said, my grandson could call the plays out while we were watching the games. I mean, if he can do it, I'm damn sure the defense coordinators from the other team can. So I'm super excited, and again, I think the strength coach is another big deal too, because he's a dude, he really is. So
right,
and anytime you can start, and you know how that helps recruiting, Jason, when you can start telling kids, you know, our strength coach worked with McCaffrey, he worked with all these NFL guys, so you got ties. We're gonna be able to help you get there. We finished at number 10 recruiting, which is a big plus for us. So yeah, we're good. I'm excited about going to the bowl game and sitting up there and raising a little hell and having some fun.
Hey man, the Sun Bowl's a beautiful venue, man. Beautiful venue.
It is.
That is a cool place to watch a game. I mean, I've been to the New Mexico State UTEP game there a couple of times. Just a cool game.
It's a cool place.
Right.
It really is.
Really cool place to go watch.
I might even drink a beer there.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, here's the weekly Peyton Bowen. Thank you. Yeah, and it also meant that we got Eli as well. It also meant that we got Eli as well.
Thanks,
so we got to thank him twice. Here's
Thanks
the
reminder. I tell
hey guys,
what,
we were talking about. Hey, I hope everybody, if you haven't become a channel member yet, you really ought to, because you get an opportunity to get into the Discord, which we have some chats. We started to talk about this last week and didn't end up talking about it, but we have some chats in there that are some fun stuff we talk about. Hank brought up that Coach should wear some OU gear on New Year's. Coach comes back with, I immediately screenshotted it, sent it to the coach, because he doesn't go in there very much. And he was like, yeah, I'll do that if he wears Notre Dame stuff on Christmas. Hank immediately shot that down, which was funny. But this obviously spurred conversation about between me and Coach about what if Oklahoma and Notre Dame end up playing each other in a playoff game in the next year or two. Oh, after what we saw between the two of us, over shit we didn't even care about, really. Florida State versus putting Texas in or whatever, or I don't know, Alabama. So hilarious. Funny. So hilarious. But like, I can't even imagine what that month would be like if they were playing a first round game. We may not recover. No, we would. We would, but it would be shots fired, man.
It's all good.
Whose is mine or his? Coach or mine? I keep seeing coaches kind of freeze up a bit. Mine. Okay. Well, then I'm going to turn this back off and see how that goes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There may be some issues in the interwebs. Okay, got it. We'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully that fixes it this time around. Maybe not. We'll see though. Damn squirrels. Yeah. It's possible, man. Sometimes you get some little weird issues around here. All right. What else we got?
And hey,
anything else I want to talk about?
I do want to say, Purple Orca, you're right. I mean, we do have a top 10 class. Our schedule next year is not anything like it was this year. It's definitely a weaker schedule.
Got to play Texas A&M first game of the year, though.
Who?
Yeah, right. I know, but it's not A&M. You got to play it over there,
no. And I tell you what, I think Elko is going to do a great job there. I do. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I think we got a lot better chance of winning ball games next year than and again, shit, I'm still pissed off, and I'll be pissed off all year and for probably the rest of my life about the Ohio State game this last season.
Man, sucks.
And I'm gonna tell you, if we,
I think they got a hangover from that game too, right? Don't you?
Oh yeah. How can you not? Can you not? Hell, I had a hangover. I still have a hangover. So, but yeah, I
kind of how I'm gonna always feel about the Okie Light game and the Kansas game too. Yeah. But really, the Okie Light game really sucks. Well,
yeah, I agree. Well, that ours was that Ohio State game and then the Louisville game.
Right. Yeah, the Louisville game was, but Louisville was pretty good.
Turnovers,
right? But the turnovers
just the ball over. Yeah.
And Louisville didn't look as good at the end of the year. I mean, to lose that game to Florida State with a third string quarterback made you wonder about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like their coach a lot. I've always thought that he's a hell of a coach, but yeah, I don't know, man. We're gonna see. I really hope they go in there and beat the crap out of USC in the Holiday Bowl. Which I think
boy, I do too. I hope they hang 50 on their ass.
2 fists at one game will do that to you, Coach. Yeah. That kind of probably he might have ended up there too. He might have ended up there. Maybe not 2 fists, but too much. Yeah, he was pissed that day. Woo. Could have put a dead body there and stopped him on 4th down.
That's right.
Or whatever, third
That's
down.
right. A dead body. Well,
it's
we had nobody. It's
amazing
to me
the first time. Yeah, and then it was the insult to injury part that was like really bad when Ryan Day comes out there and just like attacks Lou Holtz. Really, bro?
Yeah.
Really?
Ryan Day's an idiot.
Lou Holtz is
I tell you what,
whatever the fuck he wants.
Well, what I mean? And the last time I checked, he's won more national championships than Ryan Day.
He has indeed.
Hey, here's what I have for Ryan Day.
Okay, hold on a minute here.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Ryan Day, you can't handle the truth.
I love that, Jason.
We gotta get some new sounds to throw out there though too. So we're gonna do some stuff, guys. One thing I did want to talk a little bit about. We are gonna do some probably here later in the week. Maybe, Coach, can you do a Thursday or maybe a Friday game? Because is it the next day? Is it the 29th or the?
Let me look here. What?
Maybe we can do one Saturday or something.
I'm traveling over on Thursday, the 28th. The game's on the 29th. It's at 10 o'clock that morning. 12 Eastern. So yeah, just holler at me.
Okay. Yeah, what we need to do, we're going to have a few end of the year awards, which are not necessarily awards but like we're going to have some discussions. I'm trying to get Coach I in them, but if we can do so the 29th will be on Friday. So maybe Saturday when you get back, we'll do something and maybe get those guys together. I'd like to do some of those stuff. We might even do it after the new year, but like to kind of just recap what happened with the season. We got to get into some of these other ones as well. Have you heard of Hillcrest High? He says.
Hell yeah, I've heard of Hillcrest High. We never did play them while I was at Skyline, but we dang sure were part of being around close to them.
Yeah. So I like this one. Somebody said he didn't like Ryan Day too much because of
that
too
guy.
much hair dye. I agree with that.
There you
Too
go.
much hair dye. There ain't no way his beard is that black when he's been coaching as a head coach at Ohio State.
No.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
You know, and I just tell you guys, Ohio State to me, and it not because I dislike them, but they just continue to be a pretender. I mean, they are just pretenders. I mean,
man, when you can't beat Michigan, how many more of those losses? I mean, he's got 3 in a row losses to Michigan now. I can't imagine them allowing one more.
Yeah,
you know. I guess Lou Holtz has been on some couple people's shit lists here.
Oh yeah, Lou Holtz been on a lot of people's shit list
because he's beaten a lot of people too.
Yeah,
this was funny though. I like Coach Hustle, but hey, man, when you've been around as long as Lou Holtz, hell, Coach ain't near that old, and he says whatever the hell he wants. Why the hell do we, expect Lou Holtz to be any different?
And he's won a hell of a lot more than I have. I can tell you that.
I don't know, man. You want a hell of a lot.
When you're Lou Holtz and you can rip a newspaper into shreds and then pull it back together and it's all in one piece, that's pretty damn good. He's a magician. Have y'all ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, he takes a newspaper. Oh, yeah. He takes that newspaper and he'll fold it and he shreds it into pieces and folds it back together and opens it back up. Like, damn, he's a magician too.
I love it.
Oh, I tell you what, Lou Holtz is a hard ass though, boys.
Okay, so so who had, I'll tell you what, guys, and y'all can help us with this. Who had the worst moment as a coach in front of a mic this year? Worst moments as a coach on a mic.
Worst moment from the mic.
So Ryan Day would be one of them, right?
Yeah, I would think he's one.
Yeah. Ryan Day and his Lou Holtz rant. That'll be one we'll talk about, or we'll put it up there maybe for vote or something. Beamer, which one? Beamer's always doing stupid stuff on the mic. Which one did he do this time? What did Drink say? You can't just say the word. You got, or the person. You got to say what they said. Coach Prime, which time? I think it's fair that Coach Prime definitely said some things out of hand a few times. I think so.
Yeah.
The Beamer toe break, that's a bad look for him. Yeah. Okay. What about Mark Stoops? Yes.
Lincoln saying they were just a few plays away.
This might be the winner without even a freaking close second. Thank you, Stephen.
Oh, Stephen B., you hit the nail on the head, brother.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head with a jackhammer.
There was also, as a close second, he was saying, hey, we're here playing for national championships after the loss to Notre Dame. Or maybe it was before. I'm going to have to look that up. We're here to win national championships, he says. Yeah, okay. Eli Drinkwitz in his post-game news conference after beating K-State, giving his fan base some grief instead of celebrating his biggest victory in Columbia. What did he say about the
Brian
fan base?
Kelly had to say something stupid.
Oh, he pretty much always does, right?
Yeah.
Lincoln saying, yeah, we're going to get a lot of Lincoln stuff in here. Good stuff. All right. I love it. So what did it? Okay, we'll have to go back and look. But what was he saying to his fans? So not enough of them there or whatever. Wasn't it cold and rainy or some crap? What do you mean? I don't think that he does that. Okay, whatever. You're gonna have to give me like a actual example of something that he said that was, that we'll bring up and talk about. The Mecca of college football recruiter, but that was 2 years ago, Kim. Yeah, Lincoln trying to talk about folks breaking in his house. Now we're gonna get a lot of these. Oh, booing at one of the players? Really? Okay.
What?
Drink is so mid, dude. You guy's so mid. What about Mark Stoops and the whole deal about Georgia football and like them, kind of making an excuse for getting their ass kicked like he did? What do you think? Mizzou booed their quarterback? Yeah, I don't remember that. Narduzzi. Now, JJ says that that's not what was said or in the context that it was said. We'll have to get JJ about that because he was talking about he wasn't necessarily. Oh, he was attacking Pitt fans for booing. When? But should he? I mean, is that a stupid thing to do? I don't know that it is. It's a bad look. I'll tell you what another bad look was. No victory formation for Miami against Georgia Tech. Oh, Mario Cristobal. Kneel on it, bro. Let's see what else we got. Tebow saying Utah was stealing signs. Yeah, that one was stupid. Whittingham iced his ass out too whenever he said that. I loved it. That was great. Tebow, Utah stealing signs. What else? Well, you got any more, Coach? Dabo going off on the fan, saying that he's part of the
I was going to say, damn, yeah, that was one I was fixing to throw out.
Got it. Calling him one of the problems, part of the problem. Yeah. Hey, listen, man, I believe that you pay coaches just like you pay players in the NFL for what they're going to do, not what they have, what they will do. Trinky should have been ecstatic. Yeah, he should have. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sounds like Coach Roybal right here. Pissed down his leg. No, he's been watching the show for a while there, Coach.
Attaboy, Neelio, you're my man.
No doubt about it.
I love it.
No doubt about it.
I love it.
Shout out to our Hall of Fame Mafia. Neelio is a member. Kim Hurst is a member. Steve B's a member. Also membership, of course, Hankster and Sooner Legends podcast. Guys, you too can be part of the crew if you'd like to be. Let me run back and add in the other ones that are, because I'm going to end up missing one, and I already know. Just running across the ticker on the bottom here. Damien Ochoa, Hank, JC Lamb, Sooner Lemon, Steve B, Neelio, Dakota Green, Kim Hurst, Bishop Frank, Seth Ammerman. I don't know where old Charles Crow Flies High has been lately. We have one or two more, but the one guy was a gifted one, and we had to boot him off the show last week. So I don't know. We'll talk about him too much more. And it was like bad. I mean, I don't know what his problem was. Tripping. Dude was tripping. Yeah. We love this stuff too. All right. Anybody else? Anything else we got? Also, let's think about maybe.
Surely Jimbo said something stupid, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to go back. There may be so much there that we had to pick out the most stupid thing said by Jimbo. So, I mean, when you start talking about Jimbo,
Here, and I was just looking it up here. He said you have to be careful what you create as the monster that is college athletics. Unfortunately, we're in a time now everybody's fighting over a dollar. Oh shit, he needs to be worried about that.
who, Jimbo?
He's only
Was that Jimbo?
Everybody, he said everybody's fighting over a dollar, and he's making 95 million of them.
Yeah, and they paid freaking when they got the freaking #1 class of all time, quote unquote, all those 5-star linemen, and they paid $33 million, or promised $33 million, and all he kept doing was screaming about sliced bread the whole time. Silly shit. Jimbo, I'm not paying players like Bama. Yeah, okay. Hey man, yeah, he ought to be as happy as a pig in shit, man. Right? He ought to be happy as a pig in shit. He doesn't have to win. He doesn't have to lose another game, and he's still got 75 mil coming to him.
Exactly.
I mean, go buy a boat. Go buy a boat and stay your ass out of the game. I would. Pitt field. Oh yes. Pitt quarterback Phil Jerkovich booing at the Acrisure fans. If you're a grown ass man booing, I think that's pathetic. Yeah, well, they were booing at you because you were pretty pathetic there, Phil. Yeah, I'll throw that one in there. Phil Jerkovich.
Here's one on Dan Lanning talking about Colorado. He said, I'm trying to remember what they won to affect this conference. Do you remember them winning anything? I don't remember them winning anything.
And that was when they were talking about it was all the realignment shit when he was talking about that. I remember that too. I didn't like that.
Yes. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
And now he's automatically talking about how the Big Ten is going to be the best league and all that stuff too. Now his Big Ten comments, I'll get on there and find those too. Because I think he's a hell of a coach, but I think he is an asshole, no doubt. Okay. Yeah, he should. Gundy's a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another one. The whole deal about, so Gundy says, Gundy's it's OU's fault for leaving. You know that's on our list.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
hell, that's what he said to us at the...
Yeah. But the other thing that he said was the whole week leading up to Bedlam, he talked about how much Bedlam didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
After they won, it was the most important game of the year.
Yeah.
Before that, it wasn't near as important as Kansas State and Kansas.
Right.
Yeah. There you go. Move the hash marks like the NFL. Hey. Yeah, Ryan Day.
So Jason, as we're talking about these things, I came across something from Michigan. But what do you think is going to happen at Michigan? Is he staying or going?
It already happened, don't you? Staying or going? Good question. It sounded like somebody was saying a few weeks ago they had a contract ready to extend. Now, I think he needs to win a game in the playoff first. But then again, what had they done before he got there? They haven't done shit since.
They hadn't done anything
in a long time.
Do you think with all the
everything
shit
you hear
going
about
on,
Ohio State and Michigan, they've got 3 freaking national championships between them.
Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, the scoop supposedly is that if he does leave, that Ryan Kelly's headed there.
I've been hearing that. Yeah. I've been hearing that. Do you think that's Probably a good move for LSU. If they let him get out of there. They're buying out of that contract.
It's a great move for LSU.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're starting to figure out that he's not as good as they thought they were going to be.
Well,
or he was going to be.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's won 9 games both years.
But that's where he's going to stay, though, Jason.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
He is not going to win the big one.
Yeah, I think he could win the big one where he is. I don't think he can win the big one going to Michigan because I don't think that.
Right.
I don't know that Michigan wins the big one, but I think that LSU recruits itself in a way that Michigan does not.
And I would agree with that.
And where Brian Kelly has always struggled was in the recruiting trail, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He just hadn't put as much. I mean, you look. Freeman has proven that you can still recruit to Notre Dame.
Yep.
The UTEP. Oh yeah, he's good. You know who they're talking about? The UTEP's coach. He's oh man, I'm trying to remember his name. He damn it, he's been doing a good job though.
At UTEP.
Yeah. It's
that's where
Scotty Walden. Scotty Walden was his name.
Yeah. We got a kid from Hobbs playing quarterback. Hardest.
Yeah, this was his last year, wasn't it? Or does he still have one more?
Yeah, I think this is it.
Yeah.
I think he's done.
It was good, man. His mom's from Artesia. His mom's from Artesia. I went to school with her.
Yeah. Hey, so what the hell happened with the New Mexico State coach?
Coach Kill. Yeah. Well, first off, UNM didn't let them practice in the indoor practice facility up there because apparently one of the New Mexico State players pissed on the logo or something.
Yeah, this kind of been an ongoing feud all year.
Well, yeah, they hate each other
between both schools. Yeah,
it's been McCoy's kind of thing. I get it.
But the AD was kind of crappy and wouldn't let them practice in the indoor and. Yeah.
Well, look, here's what you got to remember about UNM. First off, at football, they're god awful, and they act like they're so much better at basketball than New Mexico State is too. Only New Mexico State has more NCAA wins. They have deeper runs in the NCAAs. I mean, all that crap they like to talk. Everybody's a Lobo, blah blah blah. You can tell I got my undergrad at New Mexico State. Screw UNM. So
and I agree with what you're saying. I do.
Well, and I don't know that. Look, whatever. Why did you invite him to the bowl game if you were gonna do that?
Right. Maybe they knew they were gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what's interesting is that Kill was doing so good, and you thought he was going to be there a while, and all this kind of happened, and I guess my question was there something underlying that happened at the bowl game that caused Kill to resign and leave? It just kind of felt kind of funny.
Now maybe, and he was because after the game was over with, and I mean, they lost the game, which I think he felt like they were probably going to win it, but
right.
After they lost the game, then he brought it up and like really killed him for it, right? And he said they can fire me for it because I'll go down to Mexico and chill. The thing is that essentially a couple of days later, he was talking about his health issues, which Coach Kill has had health problems for a long time. It caused him to give up the job at Minnesota. I think he's quit 2 jobs over it. And then the whole deal at TCU, that didn't probably help when he got jumped by his own players, basically.
Right.
Do you know what happened to Coach Daggy that was at South Lake Carroll?
Coach Dodge?
Is it Dodge or Daggy? I thought it was Daggy.
Yeah, it's Dodge. No, it's Dodge. Coach Dodge.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm trying to remember what happened to him? You know,
Because he took over
I
after Art left and went to Houston, right? Or went to North Texas, something like that.
yeah, I went to North Texas.
Right. He didn't last at North Texas long, ended up at Houston and Baylor.
No, yeah, but I don't even think he's coaching anymore. I think he's out of coaching.
It was a good job to have, but it's, you know, it springboarded some guys to the next level up there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But not everybody's a college coach that coaches in high school.
No, and he, you know, the South Lake Carroll job. I mean, that's
pretty close
kind
to
of
being a college
factory.
job, right?
Yeah.
Recruiting and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What did he say? Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, the pit is famous, but they don't win nothing either. You know what I mean? Or if they do, I mean, they had that one year they were like a number 2 seed and lost in the first round. That was great.
Yeah.
Dodgers at Austin Westlake. I think he retired this year. He was?
Yeah, he was at Westlake.
Okay, so then he just won a national. He just won a state championship a couple of years ago. Then
I do think he retired though.
Starting quarterback for the Horns, Todd Dodge. Huh. Your parents are OU alums. No wonder you like us. No wonder you like us. I like it. What happened? What happened? What was it? What are you being quiet for? Who said something that pissed you off? Now I gotta know. Now I gotta know. Kansas 28-10 over UNLV. Yeah, that's not super surprising. UNLV, I mean, they play in the Mountain West.
UNLV, yeah,
they're better than they have been. I'll give you that. And I like their little offensive coordinator and that offense they run. It's pretty wild. The go offense. I was watching.
Yeah.
I was watching the way that he sets it up and the stuff he does out of it, and they run well out of it. They throw well out of it. It looks a little kooky, but it's pretty cool.
I'm going to watch it after we get off of here. I'm going to go back. I recorded it, so I'm going to go back and watch it.
It's pretty cool, man. It really is. But Barry Odom from Oklahoma. Yep. That's pretty cool, man. And an older brother and your grandparents too. Yeah. So how the hell did you end up at Kansas State? Look. That's why I don't want to tell the story right now, but yes, I understand that. And there's a lot of pressure to go to Oklahoma from Oklahoma alum family members. Just put it that way.
You were a smart one.
Yes. Odom's from my neck of the woods. Yeah, Todd Dodge. I forgot he was a Texas quarterback, man. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that.
Absolutely.
Screw that dude. Screw that dude. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. It was called an interception and they won. So whatever.
Hey.
Good enough. All right, folks, we've been going for pretty good a little while here. Give us some stuff to that you think that you want to have in this show later on. We'll try to do it either Saturday or maybe right after the start of the year, but we'll do some stuff like that. That way and I'm gonna get Coach I and those guys involved in it too, JJ. You know, so we can get some of these dudes to jump on and have that talk. No, they're never going to the ACC. Why? They just got as big a contract to stay independent as anything. And
we're not going to conference.
If they're going to go to, it'd have to be the Big Ten. It'd have to be the Big Ten.
Right.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot so much for coming in. We appreciate it so much from all you guys. If you hadn't hit that like and subscribe button, please do. We are about, I wanted to say real quick, we are at, damn. Let me try one more time here. I want to say we were at like 2980 or something like that, like 20 something away, maybe.
Close.
We're close, man. Yeah. 2984 subscribers.
Oh my
2984.
goodness.
So we're 16 away from 3,000. I was really hoping we'd get it yesterday on Christmas. It's okay. Late Christmas present would be fine. My birthday's actually tomorrow. So if it was
right,
my
Jason.
birthday, I'd like that as well. So that would be cool. But yeah.
Happy birthday,
Share us with
brother.
your- Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Share us with your friends. Let everybody know about Hall of Fame college football, Jason the coach. We've definitely enjoyed this season with you guys. We love doing this, talking ball with everybody, busting chops, all that stuff. It's fun. We can deal with most of it. When you start getting personal, then yeah, we're gonna probably go a little like that guy, the whatever. Love everybody, guys. Having love you guys so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Shout out to Bucky's.
Yeah, there you go.
Shout out to Bucky's. And shout out to the Hall of Fame Mafia. Love you guys. Thank you very much for the happy birthdays. We will see you all on the next one.